a little heavy for what we usually do.
Good. It needs to be. It's fucked, man. It's fucked.
Blood Eagle. I don't think I'm really up on these guys.
Neither was I. When I saw that, I was like, that Periphery song? That Periphery song, Blood Eagle, that's pretty dope.
Right.
No, they're the band.
The band that really liked one song by Periphery so well, they named their band after it.
It'd be great if, like, no, we didn't know there was a Viking ritual named the Blood Eagle. We named our band after that kick-ass Periphery song. Oh, God, that'd be a sad state of affairs. I mean, it's all right. Out of everything that I've heard today, because I was actually able to do a little bit of homework for the first time in a while, that was the best thing I heard all week.
Yeah. Man, my biggest problem, I didn't have any time to look into anything because my dumb ass has turned into a roofer lately.
Yeah, you're a laborer as well as all that other shit.
Yeah. Trying to get a new fucking roof put on. I'm getting closer to having the west side done, which you might think, Jesus, man, how big is your fucking house? It's not very big. But all the fucking fixtures are on the west side. I got it down. I've got 2 fixtures left to go, various vents and all this other shit.
Right.
I'm down to 2 left. I've done 4 up there. God. 1 in the driving range just a short while ago.
We were talking yesterday because you had that tarp up there to kind of protect what you hadn't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
Like, I better get up there and take it down. Not like it's going to rain or nothing.
No, absolutely. That's the fucking way that this state rolls when it comes to weather. They're like, yeah, as soon as you say anything about, well, this ain't going to happen, bam, bickety bam, guess what's going on? You're sitting there kicking yourself right in the ass. Going, well, goddamn it, I should have left that tarp up there.
Yeah. Well, if you'd left it up there, it would have blown 50 miles an hour and been in someone else's property.
Yeah.
You're damned if you do and damned if you don't on
Pretty
that.
much. That wind fucking got up probably good 40, 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, I was looking outside your door. See the goddamn dying leaves fucking getting an early start on suicide.
All over, yeah. Yeah, it is what it is, man.
Fucking fall. It usually doesn't feel like fall. I ran my air conditioner today for like a half an hour. But then it started to rain. It's like, oh, fuck, all right, shut her down.
Yeah,
shut it down.
Same. But that's the fucked thing. I had that tarp up there for weeks, ever since that last, because they forecasted rain like 2-3 weeks ago. We knew it was going to fucking rain. Yep. I knew it. I put that tarp down. Cool. Protected the shit I need to protect. Yesterday, I'm up there like, it ain't going to fucking rain for the next week at a minimum. Hopefully, I've already got this shit done by this time. Yeah. Fire up, cue up the goddamn Flight of the Valkyries. And here comes the 50-mile-an-hour wind, all the dirt and all the rain and shit like that pouring down. Well, and I'm in the middle of shit. I can't very well go, all right, fuck this, I'm done for the day. I had to get that, the rest of that panel back in and bolted down.
Yeah, you'd be like, well, I basically have a huge hole now in my roof.
So got that shit done. Then gathered all my stuff. And at that point, I couldn't have been wetter. I could have jumped in a river. I wouldn't have been more wet than I was. So
are we talking like July on a calendar, like calendar spread wet?
Pardon?
Like fucking lifeguard, fresh out of the water.
Baking powder?
I'm trying to insinuate that maybe you look moderately attractive up there. Trying to give you a boost
I look
of confidence.
just like I came off of Baywatch. That's right. That's right. But only
if Baywatch was a rehab clinic.
In the later years, like when Hasselhoff's eating burgers off the floor. But, So I gather all my shit and fucking nearly break my neck coming down the ladder with everything. I get everything down, get the ladders put up, and then the rain stops. Immediately.
That's fucking great.
Oh, well, I guess if I wanted it to rain longer, I could have just stayed up there, but fuck that. I was already wet to the bone. I knew we were getting ready to do a podcast later. There's some beers to be drank. There's some work to get done on some Mead round here.
You seem to always be busy.
Yeah. Well, it's better than like people who are like, oh, there's really just never anything to do, so I just sit on my fat ass all day.
We last week we had that huge conversation about strippers in Lubbock.
Yeah.
You know who really loved that conversation?
Strippers in Lubbock?
Yeah. Guess who loved that conversation?
Oh, that's what I meant. That's some strippers in Lubbock.
Oh, no. If any of you are listening, though, please get a hold of me. I probably still have a soft spot in my heart and my paycheck wallet for you.
Soft spot in the heart, hard parts everywhere else, yeah.
Yeah, Ruben really dug it.
Well, he was part of it, yeah.
Oh. This is last week.
Yeah. No, I know, but the tail.
Oh, the tail. Yeah, the tail he was a part of. He was just happy we were talking about strippers.
Well, everybody has their vice.
So I think we're going to have to talk about something boner-inducing at least every episode so we keep Ruben happy.
Just to keep him listening, really?
Yeah, like so there's I got this porn the other day, right? Pizza delivery boy, totally awesome. Never seen it before in my life.
Speaking of which, Ruben got a hold of me today. He's going to be coming down donating to our efforts because Green Man is done, man.
On the green.
I think because we did all the work on Thursday. We got it all bottled and got the corks floating and everything else, but we hadn't really finished it. And we're not actually completely finished, but a quarter of it's done because I wanted to do a photo op of some of the shit and make sure that
it's pretty.
Make sure to get 6 of them ready in case that's the number that Ruben requires.
Well, they do, and they do look delicious. If you look at the picture, it is the clearest. Was it capsule?
Yeah, it's capsicumel mead.
Capsicumel. Yeah. It's clear as a bell.
Yeah.
This is our 3rd or 4th run of Green Man.
Now the ones that are a little closer to the end of the rack, you can kind of tell, and that's because that's where the sugars come into play,
sure,
and some of the remnant yeast. So some of those might have a little floaty here and there, but really all that shit is a sugar. So
right.
I mean, we've never made any quality. We don't filter shit. So
yeah, it ain't nothing that's gonna kill you.
Matter of fact, some of its remnant yeast, it actually might be healthful. So, but nonetheless, though, it's like out of the 24 bottle batch, the 24 bottle run we had, probably 21 of them clear as a bell.
Yeah. They're beautiful. They're fucking beautiful. So
got labels and shrinks on a quarter of that particular batch. So if you're wanting any, hit us up. Matter of fact, and I hate to call out one individual, but we're going to be hanging out with somebody here next week, and if he has an order for some mead,
Next week? What's going on next week?
I don't remember.
God damn. I mean, prostate exam for me. So I got that going for me.
Got to see the IRS, huh?
So I got that going for me, which is nice.
We'll be down checking out the Tool concert.
Ooh.
That's actually 1 week from right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit. God damn. Cannot believe it's a week away.
Yeah, man.
Ugh.
So,
God.
Scoot on down there, hang out in old San Antonio. Every fucking person I talk to, like, hey, so you're going to go to the Alamo? Fuck no, we aren't going to the Alamo. What are you, high?
What? I'm just not a big sightseer.
Well, that's the thing. And that thing is smack in the middle of the goddamn town. They're renovating the thing. Of course, that's held up now because of some lawsuit by some Native Americans down there because they'd found some human bones underneath of the bitch, so.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so between that and apparently, they're doing road construction right next to it. And the whole goddamn thing is a mess. Yeah, that's
that noise.
That's what I want to do. I'm going to go fuck around in that.
What's the name of that street in Austin you go get drunk at, 4th Street?
All of them.
Every road, down every lane.
I like to call it South Lamar, but that's where they have the pearl snaps and the ramen.
Now, that's the goddamn street. That's the street to be on.
Yeah, 6th Street's where all the...
6th Street, it'd be like going down 6th Street.
Going to Valhalla.
Oh, well, let's not get too crazy.
That's the second saddest bar I've ever seen.
I think I'd rather take my chances seeing the Alamo during heavy traffic on a construction site. God damn.
On a heavy flow day.
I'm just not a big sightseer, man. Like, when I go to Vegas, I don't really give a fuck about the Bellagio fountains.
Right.
Because I'll fucking see them eventually. I'm going to the Bellagio because I want to feel like I'm rich and cool.
Yeah.
So I'll see them. I'm not going to I'm not going to go to the Mirage Volcano because I've seen it 1,000 fucking times on TV. I don't need to see it in person.
Right.
Or, Statue of Liberty if I ever went back to New York City. Fuck that. I'm good.
Right. Yeah, I'm not a big touristy guy. Even the other thing about San Antonio, I always say, you got to go see the Riverwalk. Apparently, it's a river, and they got
walk by it.
They got walkways that are underneath trees and shit with a bunch of little businesses. That does nothing for me either.
Sounds like where people go to get raped.
Point me in the direction to a Dave and Buster's, and I'm fucking golden.
Fucking A, yeah. Is there a Dave and Buster's by the Alamo? Then I might check it out.
Probably not.
That's still something on my bucket list. Let's go to Dave and Buster's.
Oh, you've not been?
No.
I went to the one up in Albuquerque. It dropped $50 because I was drunk.
Well, yeah, it's Dave & Buster's. Like, do you like video games and liquor? Boy, do I.
Somebody really, really knocked it out of the park with that business model right there. It's like, all we need, people over the age of 30 that remember the old days with arcades and shit, and they like to drink now.
Chuck E. Cheese needed to serve liquor, and they'd be the same place.
Yeah, well, that's why you bring a flask to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, or like a Coke can filled with wine or something.
Yeah, something.
If you're real trashy.
They let you in with outside drinks, maybe, but because otherwise, boot flask. That's because man, if I'm gonna be around a bunch of screaming brats, that's the way it's gonna happen.
And you're not getting to murder any of them.
No. I mean, I that's the one thing. I mean, I hate to say it, but really, I've been to a Chuck E. Cheese before. I can commiserate with Anakin Skywalker when we walked into the Jedi Temple and murdered a bunch of children. I get it.
That's why you go right when they open. If you go to Chuck E. Cheese at 11 o'clock in Amarillo, not only do you not get looked at weird for being an adult by himself in a Chuck E. Cheese, but you get to play as much Guitar Hero as you want.
Yeah, because I guess the kids aren't lining up at 11.
No, fuck, man. Chuck E. Cheese, that's a you get to do that maybe once every 6 months.
Yeah.
The kids get to go to Chuck E. Cheese and spend $5.
They will show you the door, though, if you wait for a birthday party and you walk up and you start going, Santa Claus isn't real. They
better than what probably most things get whispered into their ears at Chuck E. Cheese.
They will show you to the exit. Well, yeah, because it's easy to see then. Some weirdo walking around with a goddamn weird outside Coke in his hand, whispering at all the kids, and every kid starts crying. There it is.
Sir, you're going to have to take your Tulsa and leave. Oh, all right. Remember what I said, kid. Remember what I said.
Speaking of all subs, they apparently have sold to some chain out of somewhere. I don't know.
Was it Iowa or Ohio?
Iowa, I think. And then all these people start bemoaning. It's like, oh, my God, they better not get rid of those burritos. Motherfucker, those things are horrible. I mean,
and guess what? These motherfuckers are officially the minority now. The ones that are like clamoring of the days of the Allsup's burrito. You hit a point in your life where you realize exactly what that fucking thing is.
If you'll eat an Allsup's burrito, you would probably eat things off the top of the trash. Maybe not digging down in a trash can, but you would certainly eat something laid on top of a trash.
George Costanza did have class.
Exactly.
And that was a fucking sugary sweet treat.
Yeah, well.
I mean, if it's an Allsup's burrito in the trash, I'm like, oh, well, that's clearly where it belongs.
Now, if you're one of these people who's like, no, I'm a discerning motherfucker. I wouldn't eat no trash. Well, you're eating an Allsup's burrito, my friend.
And, I mean, fuck, who knows when that bitch was made. I remember selling Allsup's burritos that were fucking 6-7 hours old.
Well, yeah, because I'd worked overnight at one. I worked like 11.
Yeah, that's what I rocked.
I worked like 11 p.m. to like 8 a.m. or something shit like that. It was a
goddamn 9 hours?
Yeah. Yeah, because I only worked like 3 days a week.
Yeah, that's about as much as I could stomach. Even
at my current job. So that way then they could keep me part-time and,
Right, but avoid a lot of shit.
Yeah. The food is actually the thing that kind of got me to the point where it's like, fuck this place. Because the store manager had a friend who would pop in like at 5. And he'd want to, why isn't there a bunch of food up here? Like, are you employed by Allsup, sir? No, I'm just a customer, but it'd be nice to see you. Like, I can fucking whip something up. It takes me all of a couple of minutes, dude.
You realize everything that's in that warmer is fried, right? Fried or microwaved or both.
And that's the thing. And I wouldn't keep that fucking thing stocked all night, because then that means I'm throwing shit away in the morning. And trust me, up there where I was working at, man, I'd get like 2 people between midnight and 4, Yeah. I'll be damned if I'm fucking throwing dozens of goddamn burritos in the fryer.
Yeah. Because you're not doing it for fucking anybody.
Yeah. But this cocksucker would walk in at 5. Hey, where's all the food? Down the street at McDonald's, But, so then I'd realize what his schedule was. So I'd start putting more shit up, because then the manager was up my ass. Why don't you have more stuff up? I have a friend of mine that comes by. I was like, oh, that guy's a friend of yours. Oh, okay.
All right.
I see how this operates. Okay. But then the goddamn thing at the end of the shift, and stop me if I've said it on the show before, end of shift would come around. I'd have to get out a brown paper grocery bag.
Yeah.
And put all the food in that and write an inventory the bag on the side of it with a Sharpie and then staple it shut like it's Fort Knox,
Well, that we don't want anybody getting that food that he can't sell no more.
I was like, what are you doing with this? Oh, they throw it away, but she's just wanting to have the inventory on there. So in case something's wrong, then she could look at it, count it out, and then slam my ass for it.
Say, somebody fucking took a burrito. Oh, no.
Which, frankly, that's the one thing out of working at Allsup's, the one thing they could count on me to never steal. fucking food. There
Yeah.
it is.
The first 2 days I was there, I was like, oh, shit. I fucking went and got me like a Black and Mild. I didn't give a fuck. I just was going to make me a chimney and fucking smoke me Black and Mild outside.
You were like a goddamn kleptomaniac.
It was back when they didn't have cameras and they didn't give a fuck. As long as your till was all right, you're good.
Yeah. The place I worked at, as long as the money was right and as long as you fucking allegedly kept track of the food shit. So
Yeah.
they didn't care about anything else, But they also, like you'd said, didn't have cameras because that's back in the days when people would walk in, just straight murder your ass and steal your goddamn money. And then somebody would find you hours later, and then hey, like, well, we gotta avenge this fool. But they wouldn't have.
And that was the other thing. I enjoyed working by myself.
So the state of Mexico would put it in. Either have to have, well, I don't know what it is now, but at the time the law was put into effect, either had to have cameras or have two people working. And also the tight motherfuckers there, I went, all right, we're just going to do a camera then. We ain't paying two people.
Well, now they do both.
Yeah, I think that's what I mean. That's why
cameras and two people.
Yeah. Goddamn Stripes, they've got like 2-3 people overnights, man.
Yeah. Well, that's because they have to still, like, if someone goes in at 1 a.m. and wants a burger, they got to make a burger.
I didn't realize they didn't just shut that shit down.
No. I mean, the
ghetto one out on the highway I go to, they do. They shut their shit down like at 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, but that's not the place you go.
No.
If you're going to a convenience store for food, you go to that Stripes by my place. But they all the Mexican food, like the enchiladas and stuff, that shit shut down. But anything that can be fried or fucking on that grill, they make it.
Wow.
I went down there at 2 a.m. and got a goddamn hamburger.
Good for you.
Because I wanted one really bad.
Then scooted back to work before anybody saw you were out.
That actually raises up a really interesting story. Not about the current hotel I work at. Because I'm currently on day 2 of 11 of not having to be there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, man.
Rub that shit in.
No rage here. Well, there's rage here. Just, there's not a whole lot I can be mad about. Because, like, shit, I don't worry about going in there next Monday. But I worked at a hotel. I'm sure I've talked about it. In upstate New York, Comfort Inn. That was right off I-87. And I'd been there. It's probably my second year that I was there.
Okay.
So I pretty much was established. They knew I'd come in, get my shit done, and when the next person came in, they didn't have to worry about nothing. So I wasn't really focused on for anything nefarious.
Okay.
So one night, I'd bought some weed from a friend of mine in Woodstock.
Marijuana?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, the sticky of the icky.
I didn't know you were a rapper. All right.
Well,
Good man.
I loves my icky. So it was from the maintenance man that worked there at the hotel. He was like this big hippie and sold me a solid ounce of swag.
Well, if you're a maintenance man at a hotel, you're either going to be an old hippie or probably somebody that's not legally allowed to be here.
Well, the funny thing is, this guy was from Woodstock. Well, from New England, and had a British accent. Never been to London. Never been to Great Britain at all. But had a British fucking accent.
Wow.
Because he thought it made him sound real sophisticated. He liked the chat ethereal,
Oh, okay.
Chat
one
about,
of those.
the existential shit in life.
All right. I already hate him.
But
okay.
But he was also an audiophile, too. So he had, like, all this speaker shit from, like, the 60s and the 70s. That was the cool aspect of him, was his ability to, like, fucking really hone in a good sound on his stereo. Conversations, though, were not fun. Because right. I remember asking one time, like, why do you talk that way? You're from fucking Woodstock. And he never answered me, but we didn't talk for like a week after that until we had to at work.
Well, you're supposed to. I'm assuming you brought it up conversationally, because you're supposed to grab him by the scruff of the neck, give him a quick one right across the face or the back of the hand, and then say, why do you speak like that? You usually get an answer a lot faster.
Approach him like Bruce Campbell, pissed off.
Of course, you might have went more than a week without speaking. But.
Yeah, but I worked nights, and he was a maintenance guy, so I rarely saw him anyway. So I'd gotten this weed from him, and of course I'm not going to wait till I'm off work to enjoy it. I'm fucking cushioning my spot at the Comfort Inn. I'm going to get high at work.
There you go.
So I go outside. I have this little fucking pipe that I had bought from the local Walmart. And went out there.
They're selling like paraphernalia at Walmart?
Well, they used to sell like tobacco pipes. And so I go outside where I know there's like a blind spot in the cameras, and I have at it, and I'm feeling pretty good. It's not medicinal shit. It's just stuff this guy probably grew in his house. And hour later, I proceed like, fuck, man, I'm starving. And the way we did our breakfast was we would get like fucking fresh bagels, fucking sent in every morning. It was tops. We did a damn good breakfast.
Did you bitch about it then, too?
Fuck no, I was proud of it. Because not only was it easy, I didn't really have to do shit other than get it out there. Because I got off at 6 o'clock. I had to prepare it. I didn't have to maintain it. So, like, man, and there's a convenience store across the street, but there's like a driveway that's probably about an eighth of a mile to get to the road from the hotel. So it's a bit of a walk. It's like if you're just leisurely walking, it's going to take you 10 minutes to get to this convenience store.
Okay.
So I leisurely lock up this hotel.
Yeah, why not?
I turn off the lights in the lobby, put out my back in a minute sign.
Wow.
Lock the door, and I proceed to leisurely walk to this convenience store and buy about $12 of junk food.
Damn. What if somebody would have, like, I don't know, like woke up and come down to the...
We didn't have a whole lot of people there.
Oh,
that was the thing. It was I never fucked off when we were busy because I knew I had to be on. But if there were just like 6 or 7 rooms there, and I knew when our lull times were, because we were right by the interstate, but we're also right next to a Hojo's, which was about $40 cheaper than we were.
Yeah.
So we're not getting a whole lot of people just coming in needing shit. Usually people made reservations. We had very few walk-ins. But I just came back, my fucking arms laden with junk food, and just open up this fucking hotel like it's my own personal convenience store. Just lock it. If they'd known that, I'd have been fucking fired.
Yeah, but you show up looking like actually a successful food run on half-baked instead of getting arrested. So
yeah, well, you know, I just like to party. And in upstate New York, when I was all by myself, I had to get some shit done.
I was always pretty straight-laced about everything, and I still am, but...
salty bastard.
I worked there with my day job for a while, man. And I would never leave. I mean, I was there, so I'd show up. I was there until I was done working, and then I would leave.
Yeah.
Well, and then we'd had an ownership change, and the new owners came in, and, man, they would be doing their little morning radio show, and they'd fucking both split. They'd put on a long, like, music set, you know, and scoot down to the convenience store, and, you know, and I'm sitting over there going... I keep smelling food. What the hell is this shit? Those fools over there just throwing down, man. Like, oh, I didn't know somebody made a run. Like, oh, no, we just both went. Oh, I didn't realize we were allowed. Like, hell yeah. Fuck, you know.
If you're hungry, you got to eat.
Yeah, which, that was it. I mean, it's just laughable because then they would, like, do, like, broadcasts from, you know, different places and everything else. And there was, like, one they would always look forward to. Because it was fucking proximity of the Taco Bell. That was before we had one here, you know. So it was kind of considered a half-ass exotic, you know. Yeah, they'd be going down there, coming back with bags from Taco Bell, you know. Like, God damn.
It's only Taco Bell, guys.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I would not have the balls to do that. I can't. I show up. I'm there to work, man. I don't know.
I agree.
It's a curse.
I agree, man. Well, I'm the same way. I mean, granted, like, I'm not a fan of my job. But I feel like I'm going to be there on time and do my shit.
Of course, now if I'd score a nice bag of weed from an English-speaking person from Woodstock, then maybe.
See, it makes the story a little more exotic when you say it that way.
There you go.
You can't say it any exotic way. It's like went down to Super 8 and bought an ounce from my fucking Hefe. And, I just proceeded to go in the laundry room and get blazed.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure people in the hotel business, I bet that's pretty commonplace.
It is for the guests to do it.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Guests like, no, they don't smoke in the rooms. They'll respect that unless you're talking about some sweet Chiba.
Yeah, we had a guy staying there. And as soon as I get there, I'll check and see how many locals we have. And I'll immediately know what kind of night I'm going to have.
Yeah.
It's shitty that it's come to that. When I got in Wednesday, I looked and had 3 people from fucking Portales here. One has stayed there a lot, but he's like an old man. Has a house, has his own property, but he stays at the hotel.
Maybe he likes to feel fancy.
Super 8's not. I mean, yeah, we got a hot breakfast now, BFD. But it's weird. But we had this one guy there. It's like, oh, he's here for one night. Oh, he lives north of town in an apartment. Oh, this is going to be great. And, like, sure enough, 5-6 different people were in and out of that room all night.
Goddamn.
Like guy driving up in his pickup, another dude coming out of that room that isn't that guy getting in that pickup and leaving.
Oh, the guy selling a little something up there that's the
either
local
selling his man puss, or I had it down to either fucking meth or prostitution, or both.
Yeah,
people are enterprising around here, and they paid cash. I automatically know.
Well,
automatically know when you're local and you pay cash, you're fucking no good, Nick.
Man, there's a lot of hotels I've stayed in. They don't take cash,
I wish we were. I wish that was the case. And when I get there, I have a sign that I put out that says credit or debit cards only.
Yeah.
And if all you got's cash, sorry, son.
Oh, really?
Fuck yeah, especially, well, if you're out of towner, I can tell you're just traveling and cash is what you got, fine. But if you're local, go fuck yourself.
Wow. Well, then again,
hard as you possibly can.
Probably the ones that are checking in like that shit's well before you get to work. So
yeah, and the room prices came down a little bit because we weren't that busy, and that's when the fucking shitheels come in.
Yeah.
But guess what? I ain't got to worry about them shitheels no more because I have 9 more fucking days after this. 1.5, I guess, really, technically, of which it's going to be spent in the fucking warm embrace of Tool.
Yeah.
And hopefully a woman, maybe in San Antonio, when we go to the Alamo and check it out.
What'd you drop?
Drop my beer.
You dummy.
Fucking rage.
Well,
hopefully it was almost empty.
I will say this. It's the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast where we get together once a week. Come together to chat about 3 different topics, Mead, Metal, and MMA. As you may have figured out, as we were talking a little bit earlier about the Green Man is done. We've got 2-4 of Green Man. Most of the batches we start them off and they're 5 gallon to begin with, and then as the gods get their cut, then more and more of it kind of disappears, and some of it disappears by when we rack it. You always have a little bit of loss that way. So then usually by the time then we're wrapping up a batch, we got 20, 21 bottles tops. Well, this time we went out of our way to make sure we were closer to zeroing in on closer to like 5.5 to 6 gallons. And so that got us 24 bottles, and then plus nearly another full bottle for yours truly to throw down on here either this evening or tomorrow.
Hey, I'm back now.
Well, it's giving the meat updates. So,
good. I was going to ask if I missed anything.
The batch 1, we've still got 1 case of that remaining, and that's going to go pretty quick. Matter of fact, I got a lady that's not a fan of green chili. She was wanting to buy 4 bottles of our current, 2 from 2 different batches. I said, well, one of those batches is our green chili. She went, oh, never mind. Well, maybe 4 maybe from the other one. And if that's the case, that means we're fucking getting pretty close to running out of batch 1.
Is she a local?
Yeah, she's bought it before.
Oh, okay.
She and her husband.
But she just doesn't like green chili in general.
Right.
Okay.
And she's from Nebraska. What are you going to do?
Ah, okay. Yeah, well, they're known for corn.
I had a conversation today with somebody about that very thing, and I was actually informing her about this lady friend of ours who went out to visit her sister in San Francisco and took a bottle of Green Man with her. Everybody that had any kind of ties to New Mexico liked it. Anybody that did not said, yeah, it's okay.
It's fine.
Which means it's not, but,
Yeah, don't fucking cater to our fragile fucking feelings.
Well, so that's when I thought, if you're not from New Mexico or lived here a long time, I'm not even going to sell you a bottle of Green Man.
It would defeat the purpose unless you're an adventurous person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not for anybody that is not aware of how this shit works. Probably even Texans now, because it's starting to get pretty ubiquitous over there. Fucking even Whataburgers carrying Hatch green chili on their fucking burgers, for the limited time, around now.
Wise move, man.
Which
I
think
best green chili in the land.
I think they may be pretty close to discontinuing that because the season's over. But
didn't get a lot of roasting sense in town this year.
Kinda. It depended.
I fucking rarely just jaunted down. Hey, what's going on here today?
Yeah.
So that's probably why I didn't really get the
little grocery store over by where you live, near, a mile down the road or whatever. But
yeah,
they had that shit fired up pretty regular.
Probably when I was fucking crashed out.
Well, because they did it kind of smart too, and I'm sure they've done it in the past, where they instead of you having to buy an entire goddamn burlap bushel bag of green chili and then have them roast that whole bag. What they would do, they would take an entire bushel out there, roast it, and then separate it out into their little styrofoam trays and wrap them, and sell it in a much smaller quantity.
That's because a whole bushel of fucking green chili, you're going to be putting some cheddar out there.
Well,
not a lot.
25, $6 or something like that.
But I mean, you got to be. That's got to be your jam.
And on top of that, then it's going to require you to have a lot of space in your freezer.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking, you're going to have to come home and put shit in Ziplocs, and it's a little bit of work.
You talk like someone that's done it before.
Yeah, until I start growing my own every year.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that what's hanging above me, by the way?
Yeah, I made a little partial Ristra. That's the only reds I had this year that were left. I had some weird issues with my green chili this year, and I think it was because I grew them a little too close together. I'll remedy that next year. I'm still going to grow a dozen plants. I'm just going to give them a lot more space.
Yeah.
And, on top of that, Mother Nature really fucked us this year. It didn't even get warm until fucking Memorial Day.
Yeah, and then it never turned off.
Yeah, and then slowly just built in heat all the way into July. And July and August, just fucking miserable months. We don't usually hit triple digits for a long period of time. We would hit triple digits about 3 out of every 4 days for a solid month.
And they weren't comfortable days either.
Yeah, and that's what killed all my corn and shit like that. But and it really messed with the green chilies quite a bit. Those things didn't really start producing until late August, right before Labor Day. And then it started putting chilies on in a big way.
Wow. Yeah, it was a tough year.
Yeah. Now, it did impart a really, really good flavor into the Green Man. So
absolutely.
I've got to say, I just prefer it that way. I prefer fresh green chili used to make that batch than I do roasted.
Yeah.
Because we would take fresh green chilies, we'd slice them down the side so that way the meat was exposed. It would have access into the mead to flavor it. And that was it. We put all that shit basically in a hops bag and called it a day instead of roasting off the skin and everything else. And then you get that smoky flavor. And I like that smoky flavor in most things, not in my mead.
Yeah. Well, as with any batch that we decide to try something new, it took a couple runs to find out what Green Man was.
Right. Yeah. And this one is what we've got.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that'll do her.
Of course, the honey is always a wild card. I mean, this one came off being one of the sweetest batches of Green Man.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. I think the sweetness of the green chilies fucking comes in nicely. The honey.
But that's it. Well, for the mead update. Let's move along to metal. Goddamn, we've just been bantering.
Well, that's what we do.
Yeah. The metal side of things, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Ooh.
Which it's a lot of things, but it's not that. It's a Hall of Fame of sorts. Rock and roll, I don't know.
Rock and roll,
not when 2 out of 3 artists in there have fuck all to do with rock and roll.
You know why they've done that, right?
Yeah, because they're cunts. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's the easy answer. They're wanting to cater to the younger generation.
By putting
bands that aren't rock and roll in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, here's God, yeah. I don't. It's pretty bizarre because isn't Rihanna nominated this year?
I don't think so. She hasn't been active 25 years.
Maybe not.
If they start scrapping that rule, then fucking all the gloves are off.
But the ones that they're putting out there this year are just terrible, man. I was like, what? There's some that they're reintroducing from years past, Depeche Mode. Because when I think rock and roll, I think of Depeche Mode.
That's a weird one. I mean, I get it. Compared to some of the other ones, it makes more sense.
Right.
Whitney Houston, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right.
No. It's not a slight against her either. She just ain't rock and roll.
Right.
It's like, oh, well, she was a trailblazer and a woman in music. It's like, oh, that. So basically, if you're just cool, you're rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, didn't Kool and the Gang get in a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, it's shit like that. It's just. So what's weird to me now and then is in a makeup move, they've nominated Motorhead. It bothers me to no end when you'd pointed something out. They've nominated Motorhead, but only the original members of Motorhead, of which none are still living.
Yeah. That's a
Two
fact.
dudes that were not original members, and so therefore they are not really up for nomination, which means probably Motorhead's not getting in.
Yeah.
Would be my assumption anyway.
Well, I mean, listen. Well, they're a first-year ballot, too, so very rarely does someone get in that first year. And it is Motorhead. Kids aren't really hip to Motorhead.
Well, they're fucking rolling out Soundgarden finally. Some asshole in Cleveland went, Chris Cornell's dead? When the fuck this happened? Come on, let's get Soundgarden in there.
And it's it just makes me fucking furious because there are so many other bands that have been just fucking grinding for years.
Right.
That it's like Tyson Fury. Fucking
the boxer?
Yeah, the boxer doing the WWE shit for $15 million, I might add. He's taking away time and spotlight from a fucking actual wrestler that does that shit for a living. This whole spiel that they're doing with him is taking away from somebody else. All the Whitney Houston thing, the Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that one.
They're kind of rock, I guess, to a point, right? I mean, they're more fucking rock and roll than Whitney Houston.
Yeah. Fucking Shaka Khan.
Shaka Khan.
Rufus featuring Shaka Khan.
Yeah.
Let's see. Soundgarden. Fine with that. Depeche Mode. Whatever. Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah, there you go. That because when I think rock and roll, I think, the
whole Run DMC Aerosmith thing is not a valid argument either.
Well, Notorious.
Because both those bands are in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Notorious B.I.G. That's, Conor McGregor wouldn't have walkout music without him.
MC5, I'm all right with that. Fucking kick out the jams, motherfucker. I mean, they said motherfucker in a song. They're rock and roll. Judas Priest, totally cool with that.
Yeah, as another effort. I think they tried to get him, once or twice before now.
Yeah. Thin Lizzy.
How is Judas Priest not in there? And
I don't
Cool
get
and the
it.
Gang is.
I don't get it. I don't even know, like, is Iron
KC
Maiden?
and the Sunshine Band is in there, and fucking Judas Priest is not. Hellbent for Leather? Really? Come on, man.
9 Inch Nails, I'm okay with that.
Oh, yeah.
Doobie Brothers.
Doobie Brothers are not in the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame already? Burn that sumbitch down. Burn it down.
It's ridiculous, man. I'm telling you. It's fucking ridiculous.
Fucking Doobie Brothers should have been like founding fucking right there.
And Pat Benatar, which I'm okay with that.
I'm all right with that. She's fucking rock and roll.
Yeah, she plays a guitar. It's sad state of affairs, but thankfully my enjoyment of the genre isn't based off who gets a goddamn award.
Yeah.
You know? It's just not. If fucking Metallica didn't win any Grammys, I wouldn't give a shit. Still dig on their music.
Well, yeah, and really that's the only thing is too that's worth the shit's the drama that involves like when Kiss gets voted in, they're like, hey, but we aren't going to play these other assholes that we founded the band with, or that we hired to play in this band. It's like, go fuck yourself. Peter Criss and Ace Frehley are both fucking members of Kiss. Go fuck yourself. It's just more of the nonsense that you get all the time from Gene Simmons and most of the time from Paul Stanley.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
But,
fucking A.
Like, no, we're going to play with our current guys. No, well, fuck you. You're not playing with your... that's not who's getting inducted.
It was like the Kiss thing. Kiss, Frehley and...
Peter Criss?
Peter Criss, I don't think got inducted. Peter Criss might have, but Ace Frehley did not.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the whole politicking was. I thought it was the original lineup of Kiss was what they were inducting.
Well, apparently if they're fucking sticking to that, probably more at Gene and fucking Paul's request.
I think those dudes got inducted. They just because bands play, active bands play.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to play with Ace Frehley or Peter Criss.
See, Metallica did it right. Metallica, when they got inducted, when they accepted their shit, it was fucking Hetfield, Ulrich, Hammett, and Trujillo, the current formation of Metallica. But Newsted was there as well. He was on stage with them. He was just not really. He was there to get. He was also honored. And when they did the live shit, fucking Trujillo and Newsted fucking traded off on bass, dude. It was really cool. It was so fucking cool.
Well, because everybody knows, too, is that Cliff Burton, if he had been for one
bus dropped on him.
misadventure of a bus ride, then, then he would have been the permanent bass player forever and ever for fucking Metallica.
Fuck yeah.
But
Metallica would have never had the bass player revolving door thing.
Right.
And, I mean, they've only gone through 4 and 1 guitar player.
At Newstead.
Ron McGovney, the very first bass player.
Okay.
Cliff Burton, 3. They're on their 4th.
I always think of fucking
Well,
Cliff
Bob
Burton
Rock played bass for a little bit, and he's not even fucking producing their music anymore, so I guess you could say they fired his ass as well.
Yeah. I always forget that Cliff Burton won the original fucking Cat. I always forget about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Cliff Burton was the second bass player of Metallica. We got a segment from LJ.
Oh, wow. Let's go.
Hot off my phone.
There we go. Cool, man. Let's go ahead and get the lowdown from LJ and see what's going down.
Let's check that shit out.
Thanks, guys. Everyone, I hope you're having a good whatever day this airs. Cool, man. So I'm going to read you off your new releases for this lovely Friday. Got Ultra Bridge coming out with Walk the Sky. Going strong since 2004. These guys are bringing it to you the only way they know how. Full force. Walk the Sky is bound to be a very popular album with fans and new listeners alike. They have a certain feel to them that just makes you want to turn it up. Blood Eagle, To Ride in Blood and Bathe in Greed. It's an EP, too. Not only do they have a cool name, but their EP totally kicks ass. It's heavy and has all the workings of a metalcore band without actually being one. Dan McCafferty, Last Testament. For those of you who don't know who he is, including myself, McCafferty was a lead singer of the Scottish hard rock band Nazareth from 1968 to his retirement from touring with him in 2013. So it's safe to say he knows what he's doing and has the voice of a literal angel. It's a beautiful album, and it's good to see acts this old still going strong. Next, we have Infected Rain, Endorphin. If they're ever a band I can compare to Slayer in terms of aggression, it would be Infected Rain. Speaking of which, they did a cover of State of Mind, and in my opinion, it sounded just as good, if not better, than the original. Anyway, the lead singer is loud, and she can really make your blood curl. Check them out if you like heavy. Her lyrics say exactly what you think on a bad day. Next up, Jimmy Eat World, Surviving, which is exactly what they're doing. Not a bit of a bad jam. These guys have been around since 1993, and they're known for songs like The Middle and Pain. No reason they shouldn't be able to continue that success, huh? Next up, Necronomicon, Eunice. Now, if you're looking for a theme to a horror movie or a soundtrack to a massacre, it would be this album. Listening to the whole thing, and I'm pretty sure that the devil probably listens to this album while he's building model airplanes or working out or some shit. The orchestral stuff mixed in with their black metal adds a cool Halloweenish flavor that just seems so fucking evil. I actually like it. Sorry, not sorry, Neva. Ray Adler is next. What the Water Wants. You want heavy? Leave it to Ray Adler. Born of Mexican descent and the lead vocalist of Fate's Warning since their 1988 release, No Exit. It's so fucking cool. I love this band. I gotta buy their album. Next up, Refused, War Music. You might actually enjoy these guys. Maybe. The song Blood Red really stood out to me and has a nice build-up before the vocals kicked in, and then it was a pretty heavy hard rock jam. They're a Swedish punk band that's been around since 1991. Fun fact, other artists that have praised these guys for their work are Steve Aoki, Anthrax, and Ben Weinman from the Dillinger Escape Plan. Next up, Rob Halford, Celestial. Coming to you guys from hands down my favorite metal vocalist of all time next to Bruce Dickinson, it's the lead singer from Judas Priest with this album that really sounds like it was made in the 70s, and that's not a bad thing. It's got this cool little bounce to it, and his iconic voice never seems to crack or show age. It just goes to show you that legends never fucking die, even when the music gets heavier and faster. Fun fact, Iron Maiden actually opened up for Judas Priest, and Rob Halford said at one point Priest crashed at Steve Harris's place. I'm not sure how long, but anyways. And finally, Santa Cruz, Catharsis. Coming out the gate sounding like the world's most awesome rock band, which they probably will be, they have the potential to be the next Eagles. Seriously, they sound pretty badass. They're from Finland, and have been around since 2007, so give them a listen. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. And that's it for the metal update this week. Take it away, Kevin and Brandon. Rock-a-rolla woman for a rocky-roller man. Take it if you wanna, if you think you can. Oh, shit.
I feel much more up to date. I mean, at least that dude fucking dug through the dung that was the music releases of this week, man.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and more power to him for doing it. Because I just went through, and I'll admit, it's hard for me to find fucking something great and something mediocre anymore.
Right.
You know?
Well, I'll say this, man. If you're going to have a podcast that's kind of like similar to this one, find a guy like LJ that is fucking passionate about it. Dude goes to shows a lot, man.
I know, yeah. A fucking guy is always in Albuquerque going to Sleda to shit.
Yeah, man. So, yeah.
Damn it.
That's the kind of cat you need.
But he ain't got a tool.
Well, there's that.
My one concert a year. It's going to be amazing.
Well, yeah. No, I was telling a friend of mine today, I went to lunch talking about last year, went to Alice in Chains. This year, going to Tool. If you're only hitting one concert a year, we're living okay.
Yeah, if Scott Whalen was still alive and not on heroin, I'd say next year we go see STP. We'll be hitting all those 90s
I'd
bands.
say if he's still on heroin but not alive, I'm still good there. No, that's well. See, my
I
problem.
still
is
want to see Scott Whalen, even if he is on heroin and dead.
Yeah, dig him up. I saw, my brother Daryl and I saw fucking Stone Temple Pilots in '96. I want to
One that Cheap Trick opened for.
Yeah. Well, fucking almost about half the acts I've fucking seen. You can probably plug that one in. Either Cheap Trick or Molly Hatchet. Those two bands I've seen more than anybody combined. Those two combined more than anybody.
Molly Hatchet. God, that's a great name for a band too.
Well, they use Frank Frazetta, artwork and shit. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the Southern rock band. It's like, wow, there's Vikings on the cover of all their shit. I don't understand.
I think Molly Hatchet gets a bad rap.
I don't think they get any rap really anymore, do they?
It seemed to be in the 90s they did.
Well, I know they had Dave Lubeck was their guitar player, right? I once upon a time I used to be able to name off the fucking dudes in that band, and man, it's been a long time ago. Because see, back when I was really, really young, like fucking teenager, I was big into Leonard Skinner, and then it's like, yeah, well, all those motherfuckers are dead, right? Which was a lie. Only a couple of them. But that's the whole thing. And it's like back then, it's like, well, Leonard Skinner's not going to put out any new music because that was like the early '80s, right?
Yeah.
That was before we knew that. Oh yeah, no, they would do a reincarnation of Leonard Skinner and kind of do their own shit and different. But yeah, man. So with nothing new to go on, then certainly I was looking around for another Southern rock band, and the Dixie Dregs weren't heavy enough for me. So yeah, it was fucking Molly Hatchet.
Damn. I've never heard anyone talk about Molly Hatchet with such
alacrity.
Yeah. For lack of a worse word. Alacrity's pretty spot on.
Yeah. Well, and Allman Brothers, same thing. Like them, but it's like, man, I ain't getting anything new out of this shit because Dwayne's gone. And I'll be damned if I listen to Allman Brothers without Dwayne Allman in it.
Yeah, well, shit.
Nothing against Greg Allman, right?
Dwayne Allman, that's the one that broke his cock, right?
No, died in a motorcycle accident.
But, he also broke his cock. Like, he fucked so much he broke his dick.
He did play a Les Paul, so it wouldn't surprise me.
I think he wrote a book, and in the book he said, like I was banging this chick, and all of a sudden I heard a pop and felt something down there, and then my boner wouldn't stand up anymore.
Are you sure that was Dwayne? I don't think that was Dwayne.
I'm gonna get on this computer and type in Dwayne Allman penis. I'm sorry if your search history is gonna look a little weird.
Search history is I'm gonna start getting all kinds of weird shit kept up in the margins for like Adam and Eve and shit.
Okay.
Well,
it might have been Greg Allman.
Yeah. Well, Greg did some weird shit.
Well, the first thing pops up says, Greg says he once had an erection that made his penis feel like it was an oak tree.
There you go.
Like, all right.
Probably Greg Gold.
We're done. We're done walking down this street.
But and nothing against Dickie Betts and the rest of those cats. But basically everybody had been playing catch up on Dwayne Allman's shit for fucking 40 years, man.
Oh man, did you ever see Steel Panther?
No, huh?
No. Well, apparently they're not friends with Motley Crue anymore.
Well, I guess I'll lose sleep over this now.
It's pretty great. I guess there's this interview segment that is done by children where they ask like fucking musicians of varying genres questions.
See, now, I could understand Hanoi Rocks being mad.
Well, you look at Steel Panther and you're
too soon?
And you're basically, well, I don't think it's soon enough. The front man, Michael Starr, was asked by this kid if he could bring back any musician from the dead, which one it would be. And he replied, I'd bring back Vince Neil. And his drummer said, well, Vince Neil's not dead. Which he said, I'd bring back the Vince Neil from back in the day because that guy is dead. And apparently Nikki Sixx is just like, oh, that's it, you bunch of cunts. We ain't friends no more.
Man, well,
even Vince Neil would say that guy is dead. Have you seen that motherfucker?
Yeah, man, that dude's got some issues. That was the drummer from Hanoi Rocks, right? Maybe not. God damn it! See, that's where I need to stop going out on a limb. Like, hey, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't that one thing from that one guy? Ah, shit, I don't know.
Dingley. Yeah, Hanoi rocks. God damn it, I was right. I should go with my gut instinct every time. There we go.
You doubted yourself twice.
I doubted myself way too much. So, that's it. Show's over. All right. Fuck, what else do we have going on? Didn't I send you some like juicy shit early in the week, I thought? But
I mean, yeah, outside of just learning that Euronymous from Mayhem was just a big cunt. And
it turns out he got killed by a dude, another musician from another band, while one of his own band members was plotting how to kill him.
Only person that didn't want to kill him was the drummer. And that's usually how it goes. Drummer never wants to do that. Drummer either just wants fucking money or puss.
Leads you to believe Euronymous must have been a real asshole. That's all there is to it.
And I'm sorry, if you name yourself Euronymous, you're already a cunt.
Yeah. Especially if you already have a cool fucking Norwegian name to
yeah,
begin with.
exactly. Don't they realize how awesome their names are because no one can say them right?
Yeah.
And when you spell them out, they look badass.
Yeah.
Fucking umlauts for days.
Yeah, umlauts are fucking like little O's with a slash through them and shit and all kinds of craziness.
God damn. Rolf deer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean there is that. Fear Inoculum is fucking still number one
On the active rock.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's good to see fucking music we dig kind of getting a little mainstream love, even though it's a band that'll be gone for another probably 10 to 15 years.
Maybe. Man,
I know Danny Carey talked about it.
Dude's like, man, we got enough shit for another album right now.
But they are four people that cannot just fucking fire on all cylinders at the same time.
Yeah.
There's too much. They've all said it. There's too much fucking bickering. Well, not bickering. That's a bad way to put it. They all want the best fucking
perfection
song.
Is usually brought oddly. I mean, it's usually never the guitar player, but it is in this fucking case. Adam Jones is the big stopper when it comes to trying to roll shit out, and right behind him is Chancellor. You know.
Yeah, Maynard. The funny thing is, probably. I mean,
everybody always thinks that Maynard's the guy. Maynard's not the guy. He's like the easiest one to get along with because the guy's got so many other fucking projects going on.
And we did learn a lot about his contributions to the process. He's like, they build the song, then I write the lyrics.
Right.
So he can't start his job until their job is done.
Well,
I think is great. You don't want the fucking front man dipping his wick into your fucking creative process.
But they've fucking been playing Descending live for like 5 years now. And it's evolved in that 5 years. And I understand.
And when they first started doing it didn't have lyrics.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
It didn't have lyrics up until Fear Inoculum.
Because the fact is that song has changed a little bit. Adam Jones would tweak it and tweak it a little bit, make this part longer, go longer here, go cut this shorter. I mean, fucking dude was busy being an architect of his own design on this shit, man. And so then you can have like Maynard come in, like, are you assholes actually finally done with this song we've been doing for 5 years now? Cool. All right.
Well, it's 13 years of bitching, but it's easy to say now it was worth the wait.
Yes. I mean, man. Here's the problem I've got. And I might have gone off on a tirade about this last week. And if
We've talked about Tool quite a bit over the past month.
If I did, then I apologize. But the problem is music transcends just the music itself. Yeah, you can listen to something and go, yeah, that's great, that's not great, whatever, and judge songs based on their own merits. But the problem is we're humans, so we develop a connection. And that connection with a lot of these assholes, they're like, well, there will never be a Lateralis. I always have to ask, well, how old were you when Lateralis came out?
Yeah. And guess what? We have Lateralis. We already got it.
If you were between the ages of fucking 15 and 25 when Lateralis came out, you probably do think that that's the greatest album of all time. But guess what? The best time to be alive is the ages of 15 to 25.
That's when you think everything's fried gold, yeah.
I mean, so you wrap all these weird emotions into what the song is. Even though the song is unpretentious, the music is just there. It is what it is. And you put your own shit onto that. And then, so for a lot of people, fucking Lateralis is going to be top-notch shit. I'm here to tell you, as a very recent adopter of Tool stuff, Fear Inoculum is the best shit they have done.
Yeah. But the thing is, I don't compare it to anything they've done.
Well, you can't because that's one thing people, man, Maynard doesn't even bring it anymore. Dude's old. Dude's in his 50s. What do you mean? You want him out there screaming like he's in his 20s?
Let's be honest. Dude does still bring it.
Oh, fucking A,
Dude does still bring it.
Yeah.
If we go to that gig and there's not, he fucking does classic Tool and he's fucking a little light, I don't give a fuck, man. I don't care. Because I'm ready for what they interpret these songs live as.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard shit online, but man, I'm ready to experience it myself.
Right.
And I highly doubt I'm going to be disappointed.
No, I think it's going to be a fucking life-changing event. But
Goddamn, we better move on to MMA.
yeah, which, do you even want to do MMA this time?
We have
an
a fight
event
card going on right now.
Well, then why talk about it? I mean, we can't really
That's
set
how you
it
get
up.
hits, sir. That's how you get hits.
Okay, well, let's run down the card that will already be over by the time anybody listens to this.
I doubt it. Main card starts right about now. There are four big fights, so if you're picking up around 8 o'clock, you'll be catching the good shit. Joe Lozon fighting Jonathan Pierce at lightweight. Got Greg Hardy coming back. Fight some guy by the name of Ben Sassoli.
I like his odds really, really well if he fights a straw weight, but it's a little domestic abuse joke for you there, folks.
It only got more silent when I mentioned the name of Joe Lozon. So do you think he's going to envision Ben as like a fucking 25-year-old white girl?
Why not? Why not? It's worked for him
Just
before.
Go gangbusters.
It worked for him before.
The fight that we didn't get the pay-per-view due to an eye poke, the one in Mexico. Yair Rodriguez and Jeremy Stevens running it back co-main event.
On this fucking card? Oh,
Yep.
Good. Well, you know what? Shit. I'll check that out then. That one actually has my interest. For some fucking reason. I don't know why. Man, it was clear that Yair Rodriguez didn't mean to do it.
Well, of course. I mean, if you mean to do it, you're an asshole.
Jeremy Stevens, though, seemed to fucking take umbrage about it. And he's been talking mad shit on Twitter for a little bit. So, cool. Get it resolved.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is how to get it resolved. Granted, it's not going to be in Mexico, which I think is for the best. This shit needs to happen on neutral ground, which Boston, I guess, is. Because apparently you can't have fights in Boston on a Saturday.
Fuck, you're here all Sundays and Fridays. It's bizarre.
Who you got?
I'm staying with Yair. I mean, granted, Stevens has got fucking more reason to be pissed, but
yeah, but that never really translates into a win.
yeah, no, rage.
That's the thing that sucks.
Rage really doesn't work, right?
In the main event, Chris Weidman, who's apparently already 8th ranked at light heavyweight, having his first light heavyweight match against undefeated Dominic Reyes. Chris Weidman, there's a good chance Chris Weidman retires tonight.
Probably. Is Reyes from Brazil?
Yes.
Oh, well, I don't know. Then.
Oh, I take it back. USA.
Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, he's probably fucked. Because Weidman can be every Brazilian on planet Earth, but
yeah,
he starts to struggle a little past that.
As far as numbers go, Reyes has him beat. Fucking defense, absorb punches, fucking
and
strikes
Weidman's
landed.
going to be a little small at 205.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. Dude, he looked no different at the weigh-ins yesterday than he did for any 185 fight weigh-in.
Yeah.
It's like you're supposed to look a little fucking like,
yeah.
You know? You're supposed to pack. You got 20 extra pounds to worry about.
Sure.
Dominic Reyes looked like a guy that belongs to 205.
Yep. Yeah.
See, funny thing is, Chris Weidman will have the reach advantage by 1 inch.
Yeah.
But he does, I don't know, man. His
Reyes is a destroyer, man.
I think Reyes is going to go to 12-0, and Chris Weidman's really going to consider hanging it up.
Yeah, maybe. Which kind of sucks because he is the biggest name on Long Island right now. But
if your name ain't Ray Longo.
Well, I'm talking about active fighters.
Oh.
But between him, Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah. Did you put Iaquinta in there?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're all out of the same gym. So.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I think Ray Longo needs to come out of retirement. Did he ever fight? Did he ever have a fighting career? Is he just a mean motherfucker?
Was he a kickboxer, right?
He seemed to be a little on the small side. He seems like a short, stocky, angry New York motherfucker.
Yeah. He's some kind of combat sports background, sure.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't be that way normally.
Yeah. All right. Well, you want to go ahead and wrap this shit up? Well, by the way, we'll be cranking one out to you fine people a little early next week. So,
on a fucking Wednesday.
Yeah, so that way we can attend to the important shit of the day.
Not to say y'all ain't important, but Tool concert in San Antonio, y'all just going to have to take a back seat this once.
A little bit.
We're still going to give you what you want, just on a different day, that's all.
Yeah. So if you don't like it, well, just fucking play it back on Friday or Saturday. That's the reason I was kind of hesitant about talking about fights, because I think most of these fucking people don't listen to this shit till Saturday or Sunday.
Unless they're like the hardcores that want to look for like the free fight streams.
Oh, right.
Stumble across us.
Oh, okay. So that's where we get our hits
can
from.
happen.
That's where
Yeah,
we
it
get
can
our hits from. All right.
From pirates.
All right, let's get to the picks. What the fuck you drinking today, son?
Anheuser-Busch.
That's exactly right. Oh, but because, by the way, I'm not doing that keto diet. I'm not doing the soccer mom diet because fuck that noise.
Well, the dawning of a new era. We're going to talk about that next on Wednesday.
Yeah, doing something completely different. Instead of worrying about what I'm putting away, it's more about when I'm putting it away.
And I'll probably have a glass of Grain Man later with you and Mr. Ruben Gonzalez.
Yep, and we'll do that. All right, on to metal side. What you got?
I'm going to go...
Or listening side. What you
I'm going to be listening to fucking Periphery's Blood Eagle because after listening to Blood Eagle the band, it made me want to listen to Blood Eagle the song.
Yeah. Been kind of a weird blind melon mood today, but that's most days, so I don't know. Fucking
that one that played before that Blood Eagle band, that was like one of the folkiest fucking Blind Melon songs I'd ever heard.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I dig, man. God. And then apparently there's some new interviews out from Shannon Hoon. Give it about 3 or 4 months, and I bet there's new music out.
Wow. That'd be pretty... I don't know. I don't know how... I don't know. It would just have to come out and I'd have to hear it.
Yeah.
I can't say if I'm stoked or if it's just like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's best. Maybe we're good.
Okay.
You know?
All right, fighting. What's your predictions?
I predict Brock Lesnar is going to go to Saudi Arabia.
Real fighting. Real fighting.
Oh, shit. Right. Sorry, brother.
Not the fake stuff.
Shit. I think Jeremy Stevens is going to kick Yair Rodriguez in the dick at least once.
Yeah. I think it'd be hilarious if there was an eye poke. I don't want anything to happen. But
if there is another one, it better be a blatant Three Stooges style eye poke there.
Shit. And then my prediction is Frankie Edgar will fight Conor McGregor in Dublin. Not obviously tonight, but
on a UFC ESPN Plus card, perhaps.
Nah, that'll be a big pay-per-view, and I bet they tried
pay-per-view in Dublin headlined by a fight that ain't for a belt.
I bet it's like some weird holiday right after like New Year's Day. I bet it's on New Year's Day or some shit. I bet they try to figure it out.
Well, mouth breathers in Ireland love that.
Yeah. All right, fuck it. All right, hey, we got some fights to watch, huh?
Got some fights to watch, some liquor to drink, and a Mexican to welcome here in a little bit.
All right. Hey, fucks. We'll see you next week, yeah?
Let's go get drunk.